topic with Teacher Peterson, and right away we want to continue with question tags. We looked at question tags that are for statements. We looked at question tags that are for requests, stroke suggestions, and then question tags for commands. Today, now we need to look at question tags that are basically for two words, and that is question tags that are for the two words there and need. So we have to look at question tags that are within this slide. When the word there has been used, when the word need has been used in the sentence, how do we form the question tags for this? The first time we had negative, affirmative. The second time we had commands which were using will you, and then we had suggestions which were using shall we and will you. This time round, when you've been given there and need, the rule has got to change. And if you have there, if you have need, we go to the do forms. The do forms. I should write this. The do forms. Now we have do forms that are in affirmative or positive. Oh, I should write this for you. Affirmative or positive. And then we have do forms that are in the negative part. Let's look at them. You have the word do, affirmative. It can change to does. Still, it can change to did. And then the negative, you have the do, it can change to doesn't, contraction, and then it can change to didn't, which is also a contraction. So when you've been given there and need in a sentence, you have to look at these two. If the main sentence, you can go back to the rule, if the main sentence is affirmative, then the question tag will be negative, but using the do forms. I repeat that. If the main sentence is affirmative, then the question tag will be negative, but within the do forms, and vice versa. If the main sentence is negative, the question tag will be affirmative, but within the do forms. Let's look at more examples from within this. Okay, so these are the examples. We may have an example which is saying, 1, I need to go for a vacation. Possibly that's your teacher of English is trying to suggest. I need to go for vacation. We are going to apply a question tag. Now, because we have need, which is I need to go, this is an affirmative sentence, and here's the word need. We don't say needn't I. I already said we use the do forms. So the do form for this, which is negative, will be I need to go for vacation. It will be, the question tag will be don't I. That will be the question tag for this. I need to go for vacation. Don't I? Let me use the same. She needs to do her work. She needs to do her work. We have needs, which is in present simple. So we have the do, to go to the do forms, and we get the word that is within the present form. She needs to do her work. The question tag will be, doesn't she? Right. Another example, as many as possible. You're grateful that you're here. He needed to visit her auntie. He needed to visit her auntie. This is in the past form. So if you have the word needed, then the question tag, being that the main sentence is affirmative, the question tag is going to be negative, but in the past form. He needed to visit her auntie. Did he? That is our question tag for this, when we are using need. I hope you are following. Now, we can look at the use of there in this very form. So, before we go to that, if the sentence was, I don't need to go for vacation. I don't need to go for vacation. The question tag will be, do I? She doesn't need to do her homework. The question tag will be, does she? And then, he didn't need to visit her auntie. The question tag will be, did he? As simple as that. We cross and go to the use of there. Okay. Now we're looking at the examples using there. An example, number 1. We there to drive at night. This word there means something that you do with kind of bravery, something that is not worth doing, something that someone would think it is very hard for someone to do, and then someone takes on the courage to do it. That's what the word there means. So we're there to drive at night. The question tag here will not be there into it will be don't we? That will be the question tag. And then we have another one in the present simple, which will be she dares to travel to up country. This will be very long. Alone. Someone has the courage to travel up country alone, possibly. Maybe below 18 years, someone is traveling up country. You know the dangers. So she dares to travel up country alone. The question tag here will be, doesn't she? That will be the question tag, doesn't she? And then, lastly, I want to bring out the meaning of there. He dared to fight the lion during the camp. Shouldn't even be the lion. Can change this to a lion. He dared to fight a lion during the camp. The question tag, because this is dared, the question tag will be didn't he? That will be the question tag for this. So we talked about the need and then the use of there. When we have supplied question tags, we have to use the do forms, just as the lesson has been flowing. I need to emphasize something that is to do with the need. The present form, the negative form of need is needed. Needn't. So when you have needn't being used in a sentence, for example, somebody may say, she needn't attend the lesson. This sentence is in present tense. It is not in past tense because this is the same as need not. Or somebody doesn't need to do something. It is in present. The question tag here will be, she needn't attend the lesson. You see here the question tag will be, does she? That will be the question tag. Because needn't is in present form. Looking at the negative and then the affirmative. So this is what we have looked at. Let's have an activity for this item. So this is our activity that we have for that particular lesson. and question tags for there and need. Number one, you can have I need to hear from, to hear from my parents. What will be the question tag? And then number two can say, she dares to travel at night. She has all the bravery to travel at night. She dares to travel at night. What would be the question tag? And then we can say, somebody is saying, my mother needs to pick us from school. A longer one, but worth it. And then you can have the second last saying, I needed to plan for the holidays. I needed to plan for the holiday. What is the question tag? Lastly, you can say, we also needed to go to a vacation. What will be the question tag? Number one up to number 5, you attempt this according to our rule. When you're using there, when you're using need, you'll be right to go. Thank you for having Teacher Peterson in your room, in your class. Let's meet you next week.